You're watching News Desk, and the Andani royal family has stated that they will not allow the roadmap to peace being initiated by government. According to the Andanis, if government continues to allow the burial of the late Na Muhammadu Abdullahi at the Bewa Palace, the traditions of the land would have been trampled upon. The Andanis refuse to accept the late chief as a royal and therefore are against any customary rights that breaches their traditions. At a press conference to mark the 14th anniversary of the murder of the late Dagbon overlord, the family said governments must respect the tenets of the Dagbon traditions and customs. Well, at the back of this story, my colleague Hashmeen Mohammed joins me to give us more. Hello, good morning, Hashmeen. Hello, Hashmeen. Hello, Hashmeen. Can you hear me?
Mama B, I can hear you.
All right. Thanks for joining us. But what more can you tell us? So what's going to happen? What's the deal?
Well, it's been 14 years since the murder of the late Dagbon overlord, and as part of activities to mark the 14th anniversary of the murdered king, yesterday the Dagbon regent, together with chiefs from Dagbon, gathered at the Bewa Palace to recite Quranic recitations for the soul of the late Dagbon chief. And immediately after that, the family held a press conference in which they are demanding from government that they will not substitute the roadmap to peace, where the late Na Muhammadu Abdullahi funeral should be performed at the Bewa Palace. They are saying that if they accept that, that will amount to substituting the customs and tradition for the roadmap to peace.
Hello, Hashmeen.
Hello.
So essentially, what does this mean?
What that means, according to the Andani family, is that they are not going to allow government to go ahead with the planned initiation to have late Na Muhammadu Abdullahi funeral to be performed at the Bewa Palace.
All right. Hashmeen, we'll have to leave it here. Let me cross over and speak to spokesperson for the Andani family, who's also joining us via phone now. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, sir. So the understanding is that we don't. Is there a way forward? I think first of all, let me ask you, what's the way forward?
Well, the way forward is to respect custodians and then the traditions to work. Because our position is that nobody should profit out of crime. And it is not only us who are demanding this. All over the world, I am not sure any group of persons or association would allow people to profit out of crime. If because of performing the funeral of late Muhammadu Abdullah, who died out of office and not in office, because of his funeral, you go and kill or murder a sitting Yana and wanting to perform somebody who was removed out of office funeral at the Bewa Palace. It never happened. It is not done in that way. So let us respect the tradition and customs of that. He didn't die as a citizen, so why should his funeral be performed at the Bewa Palace? That is our position. That is our position. And we are demanding that government should look for the killers of Yana. The criminal aspect should be handled by government, and the traditional aspect should be handled by the traditional authorities. That is what we are having problems with at the moment. Now, it is the mediation committee of government who wants to push for the funeral of Muhammad Abdullah to be performed at the palace. And that we are saying no over our dead bodies. We'll allow that to happen. Let's don't create another problem so that future generation yet unborn would also grow up to meet such problems. Let's have a stop at some of these problems. Culture of impunity and violence. Let's stop it. And government government can do it. It is lack of political will that governments upon governments are not doing it. So we are appealing to government to look into the issue and arrest the perpetrators of the killers of Yana. For 14 years, that has been our legitimate demand. And I'm not sure we are requesting too much or we are demanding too much. It is the responsibility of the government to find the killers of Yana.
But Mr. Dabali, even if you say let government handle finding the killers and let the traditional authority also handle the traditions, we're still at a crossroad, if you like. There's a deadlock. We don't know how we're moving forward in a way.
Come again, it is not clear.
I'm saying that. Can you hear me clearly now?
It's not clear. It's not clear.
Mr. Dabali, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. So this is my point. If you say government should concentrate on finding the killers of the late Yana and let the traditional authorities also take care of the traditions and customs, we're still at a deadlock, aren't we? Because we will not allow the funeral to happen. We will not allow the rite to happen. That's tradition, isn't it?
Yes.
So how do we cross that? If we leave finding the killers for government to handle, which you say is government duty, how do we cross the traditional barrier?
Finding Yana is the responsibility of the government. And the traditional aspect should be left traditional authorities to also do that. Government can facilitate this by ensuring that there is law and order. As simple as ABD.
So you seem to be saying that because of government involvement, that's why we're not able to solve this the traditional way.
That is exactly. If government is interested in allowing the Abudus to perform a funeral at the Bewa Palace, that one is something which is undermining our tradition. And that is not what we should do. That is not what we should accept. So government should ensure that they respect our tradition. As simple as that. That is what we are demanding. In trying to solve the problem, you do not reward crime. That is insufficient. By allowing them to perform the funeral at the Bewa Palace, that means they are rewarding crime. And they shouldn't reward crime. They shouldn't reward crime. After the murder of Yana, no one, at least, have been dealt with according to the laws of this land and punished accordingly. After the murder of Yana, can you count the number of kings or thieves who have been murdered in the country? Should we allow this to go on? No. It is not the best for us as a country. Let's punish the killers of Yana, the killers of any other group of persons, to serve as a deterrent, so that people will not get up and then just say that because this man has ruled for far too long, we should kill him and also come and succeed. No, we shouldn't encourage that. The culture of violence and impunity must be stopped, and it must be stopped now. That is our position.
So finally, even as we still try to find the killers, how about we let the funeral happen?
Whose funeral?
The late Yana, the customs, the things that have to be done.
Yeah, then that is left onto the traditional authorities. When they decide that at this particular time we want to perform the funeral, so be it. But no one can force them to do what they are supposed to do. They know when to do it and at the right time. So it should be left onto them to do it at the right time and the appropriate time. That is their exclusive right.
We'll leave it here, Mr. Dabala. Thanks for your time. That's the spokesperson for the Andani family. There will definitely be more on this in subsequent bulletins. This is News Desk. We'll be back with a lot more and still a lot more on the happenings at the NPP headquarters and that press conference.